The vibe is hitting, the drum is kicking, the mix is hot. This is what we got, big fat funky feels, big fat funky loops. The smooth bass line, whatever's on your mind. 150 selections to find. The meter and the tempo, all the same thing. Orchestrate the groove, what's the next move? Instrumental music is the sound that you use. Special effects contained in the text. Edit it correctly so the music sounds fresh. Production specialists have no fear. This is the brand new flavor in your ear. I'll put you in the mix, a real funky mix from Iron Eye Productions and Voice Crystal. Big fat beats and loops is here.
The darkest brown, which is burnt umber. And I'm even going to pick up just a touch of the midnight so that this brown is even darker. You could use a Van Dyke brown, which is an even darker shade of brown. And the first thing I'm going to do is make the eyes. And what I'm going to do to make the eyes is just paint in the shape. Then I'm going to put a shadow under the nose and a shadow for the mouth. Now, these are in perfect position. And then we'll darken the shadow under the chin. Okay, so that's the first step I'm going to do. I'm going to do this again with using the dark brown, just a touch of the. So I'm taking and I'm putting in the shadow for the eyes. And it's funny when you paint, you do things sort of the opposite of what you think. You think you put the shadows in last, but really when you paint, in this case, you put the shadows in first. Okay, so I'm going to put the shadows for the eyes over here. If you're not sure about placement, you can, after you put in the, after you put the shape of the face on, you can pencil in where you want your eyes, at least the spot where you want your eyes, and just to give you an idea. But I find just eyeballing it, just doing it this way works fine, because if I don't like the placement at this point, I just reload with the terracotta and paint over it. So it's very forgiving at this point. I'm going to use a little floating medium and a little of the brown, burnt umber with a little of the nutmeg. I'm going to add a shadow underneath each cheek. So it's going to darken the area on the cheeks. Okay, so that darkens that area. So the next step after I've put in those shadows, and you're looking at this upside down, I know, but I don't have the luxury of moving the camera around, so this is what we'll have to work with. But the next step is going to be highlighting the areas of the face that need to be highlighted. And to do that, I'm going to use a smaller brush, and I'm going to use, this is about a number. It's about a number 8 or 6 brush. And let's see, I'll bring the brush over so you can see the brush. And this brush I'm going to use, it's a flat brush. I'm going to load this brush with a mixture of I'm putting in the highlights now. I'm going to use just a touch of the warm white, some floating medium so that it's clear, and a little terracotta on my brush. Now, You'll notice, you'll see where I mixed that. And if I go and take a spot in the palette and paint on it, I can see what color I have so far. Now, this is way too dark. So we're going to add some more. Because remember, we're doing the highlights. This is the first try at the highlights. I might even add a little yellow to it. Okay, now, remember that the background of the face was done with the terracotta, so you want to make sure this color, when compared to the terracotta, is going to be much lighter. Show up, but it has some terracotta in it a little bit. Okay, now that I've mixed this color on my brush, I'm going to take this color and I'm going to draw. First thing I'm going to do is draw the tip of the nose, then nostrils on either side of the nose. I'm going to paint in the bottom lip. I'm going to paint an eyelid on either side. Bring the nose down. And then paint the cheekbones on either side. Now, that's beautiful. Boy, what is she paint? An alien? It's gonna look like an alien at this point. I'm wiping a little of the paint off the brush so that I'm the paint and using a little more floating medium because I want this to be transparent. I want to be able to see through this highlight. So I'm painting the nose. Again, I'm painting up above the eye, the cheekbones, either side of the nose, down the center of the nose, the bottom lip. You can add a highlight for the forehead, bring it across. Highlight for the forehead, bring it across. Down. Remember that this side up here is where the light's coming from, so the forehead highlight is more to the right than to the left. Okay, the nose highlight should be a little more to the right than the left. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. This time I'm going to add a little yellow to it and make this one the highlight. This one was a little darker, remember, so we can make the actual. Okay, we're going to, the highlight's a little darker. Nose. Cheekbones. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little highlight on the chin of each of these. The bottom lip. Okay. Now we're going to add a little highlight to this side of the neck on each of them. And you're saying, okay, what is she painting? She's making aliens. We're going to do one more step before I take a break here. And we're going to add in, we're going to go in and put in using a combination of the Midnight on the very smallest brush. I'm using a very small, it's a 10, it's a zero. And I'm using a combination of the Midnight, some floating medium, and the burnt umber to get a very dark blue brown. And I'm mixing it right here so you'll see that color. Now I'm going to use that color to outline the eyes, the nose, and do some outlining of the features. So first I'm going to outline where the eye goes. And I need, this isn't dark enough, so I got to add some more blue to it because it's not showing up on my shadows. I'm going to outline the eyes. You can add your eyebrows in at this time. I'm going to put 2 nostrils for the nose. And then I'm going to draw a shadow under the center of the nose. And then I'm going to draw a shadow under each side of the nose. And really, that's just going to be a dot. I'm going to put a shadow down the center of the mouth, a shadow on either side of the mouth, and a shadow under the bottom lip. And again, I'm darkening the shadow on the neck. Okay, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to outline the eyes. The nostrils. Shadow under the nostrils. Shadow under each side of the nose. Line down the center of the mouth. Shadow under the bottom lip. Shadow on either side of the mouth. Add to the shadow under the chin. I'm going to draw in the eyebrow. Okay. We're going to do this again. Draw in the eyes. Draw in the eyebrow. Draw in the nostrils. Shadow under the center. Shadow under either side of the nose. Line down the center of the nose. Center of the mouth. Shadow under the mouth. Shadow under the chin. Now,